Hi, it's Terry with a quick math tip for you. Last week we had a lot of discussion in our K2 cohort about how to have children remember the different signs and symbols that we're teaching them. Many of you are using cognates in your SIOP work with kids. And so, one of the things I would recommend that you add into your vocabulary work with students are translations. Translations can be used in the back of their math notebook as a glossary. They can be put inside their math boxes on a 3x5 card so that students are able, when they open their math box, to remember kind of a mini anchor chart for them to use. Kids can, you can include them at the top of like student pages if you're doing student pages. That are not in the notebook. Again, my recommendation is a notebook to help them practice. But I just wanted to show you when I had my classroom and I had my math word wall that I had these different translations that were discovered kind of phrases that we used for equal, greater than, and less than. I'm going to show you mine in a second, but I just want to go over how important it is that kids do not see the equal sign as the answer is. That's not what it means. And I know we try to be fancy with our technical vocabulary of it's equal to or it equals, and there's a sum or there's, sum product, all of those kind of technical math terms. But in terms of algebraic thinking, the equal sign is the greatest of scales, and both sides need to be equal. That's what the kids need to understand as early as kindergarten and first grade, is that whatever's on one side is the same as what's on the other side. And so that's another reason I'm not pushing for fact fluency without conceptual knowledge, is they need lots of opportunities to see how numbers and quantities balance on either side of an equal to, greater than, or less than sign. So let me show you really quick what my charts in my classroom had with some of the familiar phrases we would use for math. So hopefully you can see that by using some common phrasing, allowing children to put blocks on either end of those symbols, and using, the good old circle with, 3 blocks and 2 blocks on one side on what goes in the middle, or tens frames on either side, they'll start to learn how to use those symbols in practice, and they'll start to understand that it's not about equaling and using computation. It's actually about which is more, which is bigger. And what we really want to have children do is be able to have the number sense to access those quantities. And when we're using pure numbers instead of blocks and tens frames or discs or whatever you're using, that they actually then are translating it from these times where we're showing them how to manipulate the quantities on both sides. If you have any questions, feel free to come on by or email me while I'm in quarantine, and we'll talk to you soon.